Hey there, beautiful Earth Angels. Elvia Rowe, founder of AngelsTeach.com, where I teach inspired souls how to use their love-based intuition so they can be who they're here to be and do what they're here to do. So welcome. A lot of you are new to Angels Teach, and I'm so honored that you have found us and my work, and just delighted to have you here. In the Wheel of the Year reading that I did in January, what came through for the first quarter of 2019 is a theme of contemplating our intentions. And this all happened before Doreen Virtue's A to Z list was published. So I find that really interesting because it seems that we have a whole new level of transformation that is upon us, and we're really being called to go deeper into the reasons why we're doing whatever it is that we're doing, regardless of whether it's personal, professional, any situation. What are the true reasons why we're doing things? And I think that's what we're really all being called to look at very closely. The angel's source, as you may know, is always leading us on our aligned path, a path that's about personal truth and faith that all is in divine order. And of course, doing that, healing opportunities arise, and especially right now, it just seems like Source has amped things up, that the energies in the planet, all of it, I'm thinking astrologically, of course, affecting us culturally, socially, all of that, it's really begging us even to go deeper into our healing and deal with some pretty deep shit, honestly. So we're being given an opportunity to step forward and stand on our own. So there's no more hiding, is what I'm feeling very clearly from our angels. No hiding behind our roles as mother, daughter, sister, wife, father, son, husband, brother, boss, coffee barista, bookkeeper, any of those things, any role that we have assigned to ourselves. No hiding allowed is really what we're being called to do. So this includes no hiding behind our teachers or gurus or doctrine or any authority that we've given our power away to. It's one thing to seek counsel, spiritual or otherwise, and it's a whole other ball game when we start to give that outer being, that outer authority, our decision making, right? When we abdicate, then we are not really standing in our own power. So we're being called back to love with a capital L. Love that has no strings attached, is pure, and is really looking to express itself through all of life, all beings on earth. We are being called to contemplate our true intentions by looking more closely at the whys we do things. You know, ultimately, at least for me, my why is to serve you, to serve the divine. And yes, I look to serve myself and my family as part of that. But my first intention is to be of service in the world, always, first and foremost, because all those other details, taking care of family, taking care of our own needs, follow from our service to humanity, to Source, really. So this is all a backdrop to the video messages for this month, and just wanted to share this because I haven't even channeled what the messages are yet. I know what props I'm going to be using, but don't know what those messages are quite yet. So it'll be interesting to see what comes forward as it relates to all of this. Okay, so 3 things I would like you to know before we actually get to the messages. The first thing is that there are messages in absolutely everything. We often use card decks, but the fact of the matter is that the angels are speaking to us through everything. And I just love using different props to really trigger those messages, that awareness of what those messages are really, to come through. So I'm going to be using 3 different objects today. One is a card deck itself, one is a photograph, and the other is a quote from a book. And none of the messages come through. I don't even know what the quote is yet, but just want you to understand that you can get a message. I often will joke that, I can get a message from a salt shaker if I need to. Really the angels are speaking through everything. So as we're doing these readings, number 2, I invite you to apply your own intuitive sense. In other words, as I'm sharing what I'm receiving, make sure that you're tuning in to what it is that's coming through for you. What are the additional hits that you're getting and that your angels really want you to know at this time? And then number 3, this is a co-creative process. So I invite you to choose number 1, number 2, or number 3, because these 3 objects are all associated with one of these numbers, obviously. So right now, before you know what it is, your angels are already, because they know what it is, right? This is all already laid out. This is all in reality somewhere. We just haven't actually brought it to our awareness yet. So 1, 2, or 3. What is the number with the object that your angels have a message for you right now? So this first image here is our kitty cat Charlie, and I actually took this picture this morning as I was getting ready for for the day, and I noticed that he was lying in this spot that I have never seen him in before. And you may or may not be a cat person, it doesn't matter. The message here for you is to think differently, to change things up. Because what Charlie Cat is showing us here is that while we may be confined to certain space, to certain conditions, to certain relationships, he's an indoor cat, right? You can still find, as you get creative, you can find those spots of sunshine. You can find those places within the confines, and I don't mean this literally. I don't mean this necessarily within your home. I mean this in a bigger sense. Whatever confines you're feeling yourself within right now, this is your opportunity to find a new way to interact with your situation, with your space, and to get creative. Because not only is it more fun, you're also, what I'm hearing, you're enlisting the creative channels within you. You're igniting the creative channels within you, because as we allow ourselves to think differently in day to day, that then trickles down to all aspects of our lives. And yes, change can be a little difficult, but little by little, as we allow the creative forces to flow through us, we create transformation that is in alignment and is nurturing and is all around just really in our best interest and the best interest of all those in our lives and whom we love. So Charlie Cat is inviting you to think differently, even within the confines of your current situation. It's okay. You can do things a little differently than perhaps you've been realizing or understanding. I've got my glasses on for this one because I was guided to The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, appropriate for the month of February, don't you think? And so I'm just going to, really great tip, many of you probably already do this, but I love to just feel drawn to a book or a magazine or any publication really, and just kind of flip through, not looking, and be like, just tuning into the energy. Yes, that's it. So let's see, what's the quote that came forth? I love this. You are complete. When love is coming out of you, you are not searching for love because you are afraid to be alone. When you have all the love for yourself, you can be alone and there's no problem. You are happy to be alone, and to share is also fun. If I like you and we go out together, is it because we want to be jealous? Because I have a need to control you, or you have a need to control me? If it's going to be that way, it isn't fun. If I'm going to be criticized or judged, if I'm going to feel bad, then no thank you. If I'm going to suffer, maybe it's better to be alone. Do people get together to have a drama, to possess each other, to punish each other, to be saved? Is that really why they get together? Of course, we have all those choices, but what are we really looking for? When we are children, 5, 6, or 7 years old, we are attracted to other children because we want to play, we want to have fun. We don't spend time with another child because we want to fight or have a big drama. That can happen, but it's going to be short-lived. We just want to keep playing and playing. When we get bored, we change the game, we change the rules, but we are exploring all the time. If you go into a partnership to have drama because you want to be jealous, because you want to be possessive, because you want to control your partner's life, you are not looking for fun, you are looking for pain, and that is what you are going to find. If you go into a relationship with selfishness, expecting that your partner is going to make you happy, it will not happen. And it's not that person's fault. It's your own. When we go into a relationship of any kind, it is because we want to share, we want to enjoy, we want to have fun, we don't want to be bored. If we look for a partner, it is because we want to play, we want to be happy and enjoy what we are. We don't choose a partner just to give that person we claim to love all our garbage, to put all our jealousy, all our anger, all our selfishness into that person. How can someone tell you, I love you, and then mistreat you and abuse you, humiliate you and disrespect you? That person may claim to love you, but is it really love? If we love, we want the best for those we love. Why put our garbage into our own children? Why abuse them because we are full of fear and emotional poison? Why blame our parents for our own garbage? People learn to become selfish and to close their hearts so tightly. They are starving for love, not knowing that the heart is a magical kitchen. Your heart is a magical kitchen. Open your heart. Open your magical kitchen and refuse to walk around the world begging for love. In your heart is all the love you need. Your heart can create any amount of love, not just for yourself, but for the whole world. You can give your love with no conditions. You can be generous with your love because you have a magical kitchen in your heart. Then all those starving people who believe the heart is closed will always want to be near you for your love. What makes you happy is love coming out of you, and if you are generous with your love, everyone is going to love you. You are never going to be alone if you are generous. If you are selfish, you are always going to be alone, and there is no one to blame but you. Your generosity will open all the doors, not your selfishness. Selfishness comes from poverty in the heart, from the belief that love is not abundant. We become selfish when we believe that maybe tomorrow we won't have any pizza. But when we know that our heart is a magical kitchen, we are always generous, and our love is completely unconditional. So my beautiful Earth Angel friends, that speaks so completely to contemplating intentions, specifically around the relationships that we're in. You know, what are the reasons why we're in the relationships that we are? And how do we move more and more closely to relationships that are aligned with real love, true love? Because that's what you deserve. You have so much love inside of you. It's just a matter of embracing that love, seeing it for yourself, and then you can share it with the world. So for those of you who chose number 3, this is the card deck that came forward. It's the Vintage Wisdom Oracle by Victoria Mosley. And I've actually guided to not pick a card from this deck because I want to emphasize something that I think is often overlooked for fans of card decks. The right card deck is just as important as the right card. And yes, I did say you can get a reading from anything once you're trained to do that. Until that point where you really feel confident in that way, you know, the right card deck opens doors that otherwise can be difficult to open. So for those of you who chose the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck, the message from this deck is that there is some part of your past that you are likely denying, a part of your past where you were really strong and connected with your gifts. Could be gift singular or gifts plural. And the invitation, the opportunity for you is to reclaim that, to go back to that time where you really owned who you are in a more complete way, and use that, bring it forward into the present. Reclaim it, that wisdom, that beauty. And I'm hearing that rawness of who you are. And I'm also hearing that it may not be what you think. So chat with your angels and see what comes forward for you. This is actually a really good journaling opportunity as well. You can just open your journal and write, "Dear angels, please share with me, what are the gifts from the past that I'm ignoring right now?" And it could be something, some kind of a gem that is buried in some kind of a trauma that you came out of, that you perhaps finessed a certain skill or knowledge that you may not have had before. But there's some piece of really deep wisdom within you that you're not claiming at the moment. And this is your invitation, again, your opportunity to reclaim that, to look at it and bring it back. Just remember that any additional messages that you are receiving from whatever number and associated object came forward for you, make sure that you're owning that you're claiming that you're tuning in to those additional things that are there for you personally. You are so much more powerful than you realize, and as you embrace that, it's life-changing, life-altering. So there's our messages for February. Thank you again for joining me here today. And please share this as you feel inspired. Come on over to AngelsTeach.com. We have I offer a free Angels Now webinar. If you just opt in there on the homepage at AngelsTeach.com, you can get set up and communicating with your angels in a more complete way right away. So with that, so much love, big hugs, blessings to you, and see you next time. Be well.